And this is a birthday present. And in a few minutes, you'll see why this birthday present holds the secret to saving your marriage. You're about to discover a seemingly simple but remarkably effective technique that I've used for years to first save my marriage and then keep my marriage vital, strong, and happy. Watch this short video, and at the end, you will also discover how you can reconnect with your partner, rekindle the passion, and save your marriage without having to spend hours and hours talking about your problems and without having to spend a fortune airing your issues out in front of a stranger. Now, I need to let you know that I'm giving away so much free and hard to find marriage saving information that I may end up making this a paid presentation soon. So watch this now while it is still free. You may think you have tried it all and seen it all when it comes to working on your marriage, but you have never seen anything like this before. This is entirely different. It's nothing like the popular self-help books you may have read or even couples therapy you may have tried. I promise the effectiveness of these tips and solutions will actually shock you. And remember, what I'm sharing will finally allow you to have the marriage of your dreams without slogging through hundreds of pages or squirming on a therapist's couch. I'm going to give you some of my best marriage saving secrets to make sure you get powerful results right away, quickly, easily, and in a unique way that actually works. First, I need to tell you a story. It's a story that I'm pretty embarrassed to share. I mean, it's coming from a psychologist who's supposed to know everything about relationships. Yet, this story is one you absolutely need to hear because it will reveal how you can bring your marriage back from the brink. You'll see what I mean in just a moment, so keep watching. Deal? Okay, I wasn't always the expert on marriage and family that you're hearing now. Now I appear on numerous radio shows and magazines. I help people all over the world transform their marriages. Yet, I certainly wasn't always blissfully married like I am today. In fact, far, far from it. I remember specifically, it was December 19th, 1999, and it was my birthday. It was late afternoon, and I was sitting in the living room in our tiny little house all by myself. It was another beautiful winter day in San Diego, but my mood was far from sunny. I felt like my marriage was at its lowest point. I'd been married for 6 years, and frankly, I didn't think things could get much worse. I'd recently finished graduate school, which, as you can imagine, is grueling. I was working more than full-time trying to establish my practice, and my husband was working 2 jobs just to keep us afloat. So we hadn't seen much of each other. I felt completely disconnected from him. We were struggling with money. We were fighting all the time. Our sex life was all but non-existent, and I was miserable. And I can pretty much guarantee so was he. I knew something had to change deep down inside. You know, just like you want to change, because like me, you truly deserve better. So yeah, I knew something had to change in my relationship, but I'm kind of stubborn, so apparently one more thing had to happen to push me over the edge. So on my birthday, there I was sitting in my living room, and my husband walked in the door. And I knew when I looked at his face that he knew it was my birthday, and he had nothing. Not a card, not a present, no dinner plans, nothing. Ugh. I never even made it to mad. I just started to cry. I felt totally alone, like I didn't matter to him at all. I was really confused and totally disappointed and terrified that this was going to be my life for the next 50 years. This feeling of hopelessness and loneliness and frustration. Look, I know it was just a birthday present, but it represented to me everything that was going on in our marriage at the time. I felt like I was handling everything. I felt like I was the only one putting any effort in the marriage. I felt overburdened and overwhelmed. Basically, like I was in this marriage all by myself. My husband came over and sat on the couch. He didn't touch me. He just sat down. I looked up at his face. He looked just as lost as I felt. I could tell he felt totally guilty. The word that came to mind the most when I looked at him was helpless. Like he just didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to be married. And clearly I didn't either, or we wouldn't have been in that place. I mean, I just finished graduate school to become a psychologist, which means I knew a lot about how to communicate, or rather I was supposed to know a lot about how to communicate and about how to deal with pain and frustration. But guess what? Learning all of the theories out there on marriage doesn't teach you what it actually takes to be happily married. So as I sat there, I was literally at a crossroads. I knew deep down inside that this was the moment. This was the perfect opportunity to say, look, I think this just isn't working out. And I could tell that he expected me to. But I didn't want to give up on our marriage. I didn't want to be divorced. And really, deep down, I still loved him. Yet I clearly didn't know how to fix it. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, that's it. I have to figure out how to fix it. It wasn't just going to come to me out of nowhere. I had to figure it out. That realization gave me a small glimmer of hope. It's not that my marriage was broken beyond repair. It's that neither one of us knew how to make it work. So I made a vow, a promise to myself right then and there that I was going to learn everything I could about how to be happily married. I was going to read every book. I was going to go to every class. I even sought the advice of many top marriage counselors. I was determined to use all of the skills I had learned getting my doctorate degree in psychology and applying it to discovering the secrets to living happily ever after with the man I already married. With that resolution, I was able to put my arms around him and tell him we're going to be okay. His arms came around me with such force, and we sat there for a long time, just holding on to each other. And that was the beginning. Not only did I figure out how to stop the loneliness and save my marriage, I figured out how to rekindle the love, passion, and affection in my marriage while doing it. I'll share my discoveries with you in just a moment, so keep watching. I did everything I said I was going to do and more. In just a few years of research, I had discovered the essential marriage success skills, and there's 7 of them. With every new skill I learned, I immediately applied it to my marriage, and things got steadily better. Then, I quickly learned how effective these skills were for helping my clients. So I put together a system to help people just like you. And today, in just a few minutes, I'm going to share it with you. Remember, despite my success today, I am no different than you. I'm just a person that, while trying to save her marriage, discovered a system. This is a system that finally allows people like you and me to experience that wonderful, safe feeling of a deep connection to our partner, the warmth of affection and appreciation, and the satisfaction of a loving marriage. This is the same system that allowed me to easily save my marriage from the brink of divorce and keep it happy for the last several years. And it's the same exact system I'll be sharing with you in just a moment, so you can finally see the results you desire. First, I must tell you about the real problem we face. The real reason you may be struggling with your marriage today. And the reason why so many folks like us have battled in our marriages for years. And it might surprise you. The real problem is the fact that you've been lied to for years. And these lies are keeping you from the marriage you desire and deserve. One of these lies is the fairy tale. The story that once you fall in love with the, quote, right person and say I do, you'll live happily ever after. It's going to be easy because you found your soulmate. You're going to be automatically, blissfully married for the rest of your life. I bet you've heard that, or maybe even believed that at one point in your life. Yet, this is not even close to the truth. If you are one of the millions who fell victim to this lie, then you must decide now to believe the truth instead. Because if you do not, you will continue down the road of thinking, maybe we're just not right for each other. Blaming each other for the state of your marriage while waiting around and hoping everything will get magically better. And eventually, no matter how much you loved your partner in the first place, you'll simply give up on your marriage, on your family, on yourself. Listen, this is not what I want for you, and I know it's not what you long for. Believing this lie may be the reason that you struggle with your marriage. It's not your fault. If you really want to blame someone, don't blame each other, and definitely don't blame yourself. Blame the cheesy romance novels and romantic Hollywood movies, or even Disney, for heaven's sake. The Prince and Princess Charmings are everywhere. Maybe you've even heard from your friends and family that it's all about being married to, quote, the one. You've been bombarded for almost as long as you've been alive with false, misleading information from these and many more sources. And many of them depend on your hopes and dreams to make a buck. Not your friends and family, of course, but most of the other ones I mentioned depend on it. All this misinformation out there that the media loves to exploit is enough to confuse anyone. It confused me for years, and I'm a shrink. But it's just not true. Many of the top doctors and experts in the field today, including Dr. John Gray, Dr. Gary Chapman, Dr. Patricia Love, just to name a few, have scientifically proven that marriages naturally go through cycles of ups and downs. That what it really takes is marriage education and investing time and effort to keep a marriage strong, healthy, and happy. Fascinating, isn't it? The truth is, you should never, ever give up on your marriage because you fell out of love with the one for a few months or even years. Why? Because being in love and happily married has very little to do with who you married and everything to do with knowing how to be happily married. So now you know the truth, and maybe this lie has been getting in the way of you and your partner learning how to have a close, loving connection. So now, let's dive into 3 tips that will actually help you get on the right track to getting that marriage you desire. These are the same tips that thousands have used to successfully transform their marriage and get the relationship they deserve. The most important of these tips is the 8-hour secret of happily married couples, and I'll cover that in just a moment, so please keep watching. This secret will empower you to regain the passion and save your marriage. It will also enable you to feel loved and appreciated and keep your family together. It'll set you up for success by enabling you to apply the 7 specific skills that give you the marriage you really desire. I'll tell you exactly what those 7 skills are in just a few minutes, but first, I need to warn you about the number 1 mistake couples make when working on their marriage. You absolutely must not make this mistake if you want to revitalize and save your marriage. Ready? You must not give up too soon. Many people don't understand that it's normal to fall in and out of love in a long-term relationship. People who are married for a long time are not typically in love with their partner the whole time. They fall in and out of love many times over the years. Almost all people who have been married for 50 years will tell you that they were not in love with their partner the whole time. In fact, sometimes they were not in love for years at a time. Many were not even in love on the day they got married. So how did they stay married for 50 years? Well, couple will tell you that it took 2 things to get to that point: commitment and the willingness to learn new ways of doing things. In fact, research indicates that 86% of unhappily married couples that stay together and work on their marriage report being much happier later on in life. In other words, they're not only glad they stayed married, but they're glad they learned the skills, worked it out, and made their marriage successful. Once you realize that it's normal to fall in and out of love, you will feel hopeful about the future. You won't feel like you're stuck in the same situation for the rest of your life, and you'll know you're not the only one going through this. Millions of couples have felt this same way and have come out on the other side, happy again. Just imagine. Your pain and loneliness are gone, and your marriage is so awesome that you can't wait to be with your partner every free minute you have. Can you picture that? Okay, here's another tip. How would you like to actually enjoy your marriage and make it fun and exciting? Because let's face facts, if you enjoy being married, you'll find the motivation and inspiration to make your relationship full of love and laughter, right? That means you actually get the fairy tale of living happily ever after with the one you already married. Here's the trick. Write down the top 10 things you like about being married. You know, sure, I want you to be happy with your partner, and you will be, but everyone has something they like just about the state of being married. What do you like? Write it down. Then look at that list and remind yourself every day why you want to stay married. For example, do you like your home, your financial situation? Do you enjoy family time, Do you like being able to say you're married? Do you have fun with your mutual friends? I don't know, maybe you even like your in-laws. I'm not necessarily talking about how you feel about your spouse right now, though maybe there are things about them specifically you want on the list. Like maybe they crack you up or they're a great parent to your kids. Just write down 10 things you like about being married and create your own why I try list. Do this and you'll feel more empowered, motivated, and positive about your relationship. Can you see yourself enjoying your marriage? Realizing every day how lucky you are to be married and looking forward to making it the marriage of your dreams? Okay, remember earlier I was going to tell you the 7 skills that enable you to regain the love and save your marriage? Here they are. 1, establishing relationship ground rules. Spending time together, understanding each other, resolving conflict, agreeing on money issues, fairly dividing responsibilities, and having a satisfying sex life. Now I'm going to get real specific about one of them so you can apply it right away. But first, let me give you a warning. If you do not do this one tip, all the other things you're doing to help your marriage won't work. This tip is that important for you to be happy in your marriage permanently, so really pay attention. There's nothing more empowering, more freeing than knowing the secret of happily married couples, never having to wonder if you're doing enough to make your marriage last. So let's put an end to that worry right now. Ready? I want you and your partner to spend 8 hours alone together every week. That's right. You heard me correctly. 8 hours. No kids, no TV, no cell phone, no Facebook. Just 8 hours, just the two of you, every week. Did you know that the average married couple spends as little as 1 hour a week alone together? The average couple with kids, sometimes none. The average 2 people having an affair with each other spend 15 hours a week alone together. That's right. Those 2 people manage to spend 15 hours alone despite all their other commitments. For you and your partner to learn what it takes to be happily married, to feel connected, and to fall in love again, you absolutely must spend time alone together. Bottom line, you cannot be in love with someone you're never alone with. You may be thinking, how can I do this? Maybe your partner doesn't want to spend time with you right now. Or maybe you don't want to spend time with them. Maybe you think you can't afford it. Maybe you're, and I hear this one a lot, too busy. But don't worry, there are specific things you can do to find the time and make it special. And I can show you how. This is your ticket out of feeling isolated, lonely, and disconnected from your partner. You'll be amazed at how much easier everything will be in your relationship when you are connecting together on a regular basis. Imagine your life and your marriage as you listen to each other. Let go of past pain and resentment. Start to laugh again and remember how to enjoy each other. Doesn't that feel absolutely incredible? And wouldn't you love to get started today, right now, and experience those loving feelings like never before? Okay, that was a lot to cover, and you may be feeling a bit overwhelmed or confused, and that's okay. Basically, you have 2 choices of where to go from here. Choice 1. Take the information in this presentation and try to go it alone. And who knows, you may see some success if you took really careful notes. Or there's choice 2, the wise choice. This is the quickest, easiest, and smartest way to get the marriage and love you deserve. Let me do the work for you. And you know, I already have. Why start from scratch and try and reinvent the wheel when I've laid out your exact step-by-step blueprint for marriage success already? One that's been tested for years, one that's responsible for countless thousands of couples transforming their marriages. Get that dream relationship at last, without suffering, without spinning your wheels going nowhere, and without spending thousands of dollars on therapy. Here's what the vast majority decide to do. It's called the Strong Marriage Now system. I'm Dr. Dana Fillmore, clinical psychologist, expert in marriage and family therapy, and co-creator of the Strong Marriage Now system. This marriage success system is the only online video marriage counseling system that allows you to regain the love, rekindle the passion, and save your marriage. This powerful, proven, step-by-step system will work for you, even if you're the only one willing to work on it, even if you believe that face-to-face counseling is the only thing that will work. If you think you can't afford it, you have a super busy schedule, this is really lifestyle friendly. This even works for the heavy stuff. It works even if you have been impacted by an affair, have heard the words "not in love anymore," or have even considered filing for divorce. It works even if you don't believe it can work for you, or if you think it's too late, or if you think you've tried everything. Now let me tell you what the Strong Marriage Now system is not, just so you know exactly what you're about to experience. This is not yet another self-help fad or touchy-feely plan. This is not some swallow this magic pill solution that promises something silly, like falling madly in love again and have the perfect marriage overnight, or something ridiculous like that. You've been lied to enough. It's time for a solution that works without the gimmicks. And this is definitely not a blame, shame, pain approach that can further harm your marriage. Rather, the Strong Marriage Now system is the result of over 15 years of study analyzing the most successful techniques used by happily married couples, as well as looking at the real reasons behind marriage failures, and creating a clever alternative to reading endless self-help books or paying thousands of dollars for therapy that may not work. And now, starting today, the success of thousands of couples can be your success too. The patterns I studied and successfully duplicated give you the freedom to easily get your marriage back on track, stop the pain while rekindling love and passion, and finally create the marriage and life you absolutely deserve. Before we go any further, it's only fair that I be absolutely 100% honest with you. If you're looking for that magic pill solution, or if you just want someone to sit in a room with you and judge who's right and who's wrong, or some other plan that you already know will never ever work for you, like figuring out what planet each of you is from, or the age-old hoping and praying it will just work out. Have any of those worked for you yet? If that's what you're looking for, then leave this page right now. This system is for anyone who is ready to put down the typical approaches, yet still wants the simplest, most effective solution to save their marriage. In short, there are no easy answers. You've been lied to in the past. People tell you this is easy, but you know what? If it was that easy to save your marriage, you would have already done it. But here's the deal. I've made a system that's as easy as it can possibly get. Isn't that awesome? So, if you're wanting the real answer to save your marriage, then here's what you can expect. If you want to keep your family together and be happy again, finally communicate, feel love, understanding, and a true connection, put an end to the fighting, worrying, and loneliness, regain the love, rekindle the passion, and save your marriage without sacrificing hours and hours and thousands of dollars, then the Strong Marriage Now system isn't just a system for you, it is the only system for you. Check out the results that everyday, normal people are getting. This is Alyssa and Jason. At one point, they were basically sleeping in separate bedrooms. They were barely speaking to each other. They had been impacted by an emotional affair. They tried a bunch of things to fix their marriage. None of them had worked, and she was really worried her whole family was going to fall apart. They completed the Strong Marriage Now system, and now look what they say. They laugh more, play more, touch more. They're really happy again. And this is Monique and James. They had already visited separate lawyers by the time they tried the Strong Marriage Now system. They were feeling disconnected and were fighting all the time about money and a whole host of other things. But look at them now. They're back on track and in love. And finally, check out Gabriella and Raphael. These guys weren't headed for divorce anytime soon, but she'd been trying to get him to see a counselor for 17 years, and all he ever said was no, no, no. She stuck it out, but when her son went to college, Gabriella started wondering, is this what the rest of my life is going to be like? When she suggested watching the videos and using the system, he was willing to do it because he didn't have to air out his issues in front of a stranger. And I love what they say here. We feel like boyfriend and girlfriend again. Oh, man, I love sharing success stories, and those are just a few of the ones we have. So, Let's take a look at what you will receive inside your Strong Marriage Now system. In the videos in section 4, you'll discover the Fight Fair formula. This includes 5 principles that empower you to resolve all disagreements and regain peace and love in your home, even if you're fighting about whether or not to stay married. In the section 5 videos, you'll discover what you need to do to avoid the cause of 70% of all divorces. Yeah. Throughout the system, you'll get 14 exercises that you can use to easily apply the marriage-saving principles to your life so that you can reconnect and save your marriage and family. You'll get practical tips for each of you to easily adopt new, happy relationship habits, to move past the pain and make your marriage strong and healthy, not just for today, but for the long term. And our system is the only way to save your marriage through direct, practical, proven, online marriage counseling videos, a method that works for virtually everyone who applies it. As you've probably noticed by now, the Strong Marriage Now system is by far the easiest program to follow, as it allows you to save your marriage in the privacy of your own home and at your own pace, preventing your marriage from dying a slow death. The results come fast, too. In fact, many of our clients report that they feel reconnected, in love, and happy in less than 30 short days. And that's amazing, considering that they are seeing these results and experiencing this transformation, even if they were no longer in love, had years of endless fighting, even if they'd been impacted by an affair, whatever you guys are struggling with. Now, you may believe that a system that can do this much for you would cost thousands of dollars, and in all honesty, it really should. In just a few short weeks, I cover what would normally take 6 months of face-to-face therapy and thousands of dollars. Instead, this system has helped thousands of folks just like you feel in love again and fix their marriage quickly and inexpensively. I'll get to the price in just a minute. First, I want to share a few other unique benefits this one-of-a-kind system will deliver to you. You'll discover the 4 marriage mistakes you absolutely must avoid at all costs in order to see the results you desire. That's covered in the very first video. You'll also discover some really clever ways to help you reconnect, feel the love, and make spending time together an absolute blast. I've proven that working on your marriage can and should be enjoyable, and I want to share those secrets with you. Plus, I'll be revealing exactly how to fix your marriage and the specific, easy-to-follow steps to take in order to regain the love, rekindle the passion, and save your marriage. The price of the Strong Marriage Now system, sold by itself, is valued at $597. Yet, you're not just receiving the Strong Marriage Now system. Today, just for watching this presentation, I'd like to give you free of charge these incredibly valuable bonuses to help you fix your marriage even faster. The first bonus is an electronic copy of my book, Happily Ever After: How to Be Happily Married to the One You Already Married. This book is packed with 320 pages of my happy marriage formula, including exercises to help you apply the lessons right away. You'll discover the secret to finally feeling the ongoing devotion, love, and connection you hoped for when you said, "I do." This is valued at $49, and you get it as a free gift. Not only that, you're also going to get a 2-video series entitled Forgiveness: How to Get Past the Pain and Move Forward. An inability to forgive or an unwillingness to forgive can eat at the core of a relationship and make it virtually impossible to fix it and move forward. These videos cover the 7 reasons why people struggle with forgiveness and walk you through how to finally let go of the past and regain peace in your relationship. It's a $97 value, and I've given it to you for free. And lastly, you'll get my 4-video Affair-Proof Your Marriage solution. I don't know if you know this, but as many as 50% of marriages are impacted by some sort of infidelity at some point in the marriage. And it's essential to know how to protect your marriage from those risks. And if you've already been impacted by an affair, this series can help you make sure it doesn't happen again. It will ensure that your marriage and family are safe. This is worth $117, and again, I'm going to give it to you free today. Now you can see why the Strong Marriage Now system is valued at $597, right? Even without the bonuses, this is a steal. And if you bought the bonuses by themselves, your total investment today would be almost $900. However, just for watching this presentation today, I have a much better deal coming your way. Just keep watching because this deal won't last much longer. Of course, you could choose to just continue on the path you're on right now and pay 10, 20, maybe 100 times this much money in the near future in the form of marriage counseling, marriage retreats, books, courses, or the massive financial cost of divorce. Well, what does that mean? Well, divorce means take everything you have now, divide it in half, then add on the price of 2 homes, child support, child care, and the legal bills you'll be forced to pay as your family's life is torn apart. And if you stay together, let's not even talk about the emotional cost of an unhappy marriage on you, your children, your friends, and your whole family that will keep happening if you just keep doing what you're doing now. And that isn't what I want for you. So let's make this a really easy decision, okay? I feel you deserve to know why I'm about to offer you such a massive discount today. So let me share my dream with you. It's a cause that I'm inviting you to join, along with thousands of other folks just like you who are ready to reinvent their marriage, reinvigorate their passion, and replace an unhappy, life-draining relationship with a joyful, energizing, fulfilling, sexy marriage. And above all, they're ready to share that loving foundation with all of the people that matter. A few years ago, my business partner, Amy Barnhart, and I set an inspiring goal. We dedicated ourselves to helping at least 1 million couples and families save their marriages and be happy together for life. Since then, we've helped thousands and thousands save their marriages, but we're shooting for that 1 million marriage goal. You know what that would mean? That would mean millions of families staying together. Can you imagine it? How much joy would that create in the world around you? How many happier kids would that make? Their parents staying together? How many kids won't have to wonder what they did wrong and if there was something they could have done to save their family? How many kids will grow up and have strong, healthy marriages themselves? How many other people would be inspired by this cause? The bottom line, I decided that I absolutely need to let as many folks as possible join in this cause, a cause I call 1 million marriages saved. The good news? That means a much lower price for you because I want you to join the cause and I don't want finances to stop anyone. So let's add your marriage, your family to the cause starting right now. That means that today you will not be paying the retail value of the Strong Marriage Now system and the bonuses, not even close. So your investment today will not be $797, not even half that, not even $397. Your total investment today, which includes the Strong Marriage Now system and all the bonuses you see above, is now only $297. Listen, don't decide right now. Take advantage of my unconditional triple guarantee. Just try the Strong Marriage Now system for yourself for 60 days. If you do not see the relationship transformation you expect in that time, even if you don't feel more hopeful in the first 30 days, or even if you just don't like the way the site is designed or the font I used, you name it, I will gladly refund every penny. No questions, no hassles. Look below this video right now. Click on the green button that says Buy Now to claim your discounted price today. You'll join thousands of other success stories like Tammy and Jim. They survived an affair. It really can be done. They're happier now than they ever were. And Scott and Carrie, again, another example of a couple that wasn't going to break up, but certainly wasn't happy. They learned the 7 essential marriage skills and were thrilled at how easy they were to apply and how quickly these techniques delivered results. Plus, if you act now before this presentation ends, I will toss in this one-of-a-kind super bonus worth $97. It's a 2-video package called How to Get Your Partner Checked Back In. You know, so many people told me that they wanted to work on their marriage, but their partners weren't willing to even try. So I created this powerful solution to get your partner checked back in and committed to working on your marriage with you. If you feel like you're the only one trying to make this thing work, you need this bonus. It's worth $97. Well, actually, I think it's worth its weight in gold, but we only charge $97 for it. You're getting it for free. That brings your total value to almost $1,000. Yet today, if you act now, it's all yours for only $297. Remember, it's not just a great bargain you're getting today. You'll be joining in on the biggest marriage-saving movement in history. You'll be a part of an ever-growing marriage-friendly relationship community, and you'll even make some supportive friends along the way by taking part in our free Strong Marriage Now community forum. Click on the green button that says Buy Now to claim your discounted price today. You'll be granted immediate access to everything, the Strong Marriage Now system, and all the bonuses. Plus, your free How to Get Your Partner Checked Back In bonus worth $97 just for taking immediate action today. Here's what will happen the moment you click the Buy Now button below this video. First, you'll be taken to our 100% secure checkout page. Looks like what you'll see on the next few slides, and I want to show you what it's going to look like so there won't be any surprises. So when you see this, you know that you're in the right place. It's our 100% secure checkout page. Just fill in your information and credit card number and click on the Pay Now button to proceed with the purchase. Please be sure to enter your email address correctly because that will be used to confirm your order. And you'll see a page that looks exactly like this. This page confirms the information you just entered. Simply click on the Complete Your Order button when you see this page. Your last step will be to create your login to have instant access to the system. Just enter in your name, email, password, and click on the gray Create Your Login button. Please be sure to enter in your email address correctly so you can instantly access the system. After you've completed the form to create your login and password, you'll be taken to a page that will look like this. This confirmation page tells you that we've emailed you your login. Once you get this, check your email and you'll see one from Dr. Dana and Amy. Remember I told you Amy was my business partner? The subject of the email is Instant Access for You, your account information. It explains in that email exactly what you need to do to get instant access to your system and bonuses. It's as simple as clicking the link in the email to log in. It's that simple. Remember, you've been struggling in your marriage for far too long, and the pain of continuing in a state of inaction will only lead to more despair, more frustration, and continued hurt and loneliness. Yet all of this can change the moment you begin applying the marriage-saving principles in the Strong Marriage Now system. Picture the moment you finally have the answer you've been looking for and begin the path to the ideal marriage. You feel happy, full of hope and optimism. You see the smile on your face in the mirror today and every morning after. You are experiencing the love, passion, and life-changing results you deserve at long last. Yes, it's true. Your inability to fix your marriage problems up until today has largely been no fault of your own. It's true you've been lied to by all the fairy tales, the romantic Hollywood movies, and the false promises of a happily ever after that no one stands behind. However, today marks your day to take responsibility, to take the action necessary to put an end to the lies, an end to the frustration, blame, shame, and hurt, and begin anew on a true marriage-saving plan that simply works. And unlike most marriage solutions, this one is guaranteed to work. Try it first for 60 days and see the results you desire, or get all of your money back. As I mentioned before, we offer our triple guarantee. Plus, you'll have access to our friendly support staff. You've heard from everyday men and women, folks just like you who have seen incredible success with the Strong Marriage Now system. Now let's hear about how easy it is to use. This is Robin and Dave. They really appreciated my straightforward approach. They like how I get right to the point and give them some tips they can immediately see make a difference. This is Kathleen. She actually gave us a video testimonial that you can watch on our site if you want to. She was really struggling with anger and was so upset she could barely speak to her husband. She said the communication and fighting skills she learned in the system were so easy to apply that she has been able to finally speak to her husband and let go of all that anger. The quote here says, she now speaks lovingly with her husband. If you want to see how easy it is for yourself, just look below this video right now, click on the green button that says Buy Now to claim your discounted price today. You'll be granted immediate access to everything the Strong Marriage Now system and all the bonuses. Plus, your free How to Get Your Partner Checked Back In bonus worth $97 just for taking immediate action today. Right after you order, you need to log in to access your Strong Marriage Now system to save your marriage. Then click on week 1 to begin your What Type of Marriage Do You Want to Build exercise. This simple exercise will guarantee you start down the right path to the marriage you want. Remember, along with the week 1 exercises, you'll also be receiving the complete Strong Marriage Now system. This is your easy-to-follow formula to regain the love, rekindle the passion, and save your marriage. You'll also get my book, Happily Ever After, so you can finally feel the ongoing love and connection you hoped for when you said I do. 2 videos on forgiveness to help you get over the pain, move forward, and be happy again. The Affair-Proof Your Marriage package, so you can safeguard your relationship and your family. And my super bonus, How to Get Your Partner Checked Back In, so you can stop feeling like you're on your own. Just do not put this off 1 second longer. Here's why. First, as you recall, I lowered the price by over half, just so you can jump in now. Yet, eventually, I'm going to raise that price back up to where it really deserves to be, so act now before that happens. Also, you do not want to miss out on my super bonus, How to Get Your Partner Checked Back In. Only the first comers will be guaranteed access to it. Everyone else will miss out. And let's not forget, unless you take action now, today, you may never take action. You may do what some people do and put it off just a few more days, which will turn into months, then years, then divorce. So let's make sure you get what you really want and do the only smart thing you can do. Take advantage of this limited time offer while you still can, and wisely get on the right path to a proven, sane, and simple journey to a happy marriage. Click the Buy Now green rectangular button below, and let's get you started now. If you're still watching, I bet you still have some questions. Here are the most common questions I get, and the answers to help you out. Can this really work if it's not face-to-face? Absolutely. You know, it's often even better. You might not realize that couples counseling is all about teaching couples how to truly communicate, how to resolve conflict, how to learn and understand their partner's point of view, all kinds of things. In fact, it's when couples therapists attempt to be mediators face-to-face, meaning they attempt to judge who is right and who is wrong while they're in the room, that they can get into trouble and can actually damage the relationship. Did you know 75% of couples who go to marriage counseling actually end up breaking up? You don't want to become dependent on your therapist and be in therapy forever. Your counselor won't be standing in the kitchen mediating your fights over who should be responsible for doing the dishes. You have to learn to do it yourselves. And the Strong Marriage Now system is the perfect way for you to learn. Here's another question. Can my marriage be saved? I hear this one a lot. And again, I say absolutely. Almost all marriages can be saved and even made much, much better. But let's face it, not everyone really wants to save their marriage, meaning not everyone wants to keep it the way that it is. But I'm talking about saving and making it better, making it the marriage you actually want. Remember I explained before that it's normal to fall in and out of love in a long-term marriage? People who are married for a long time are not typically in love with their partner the whole time. They fall in and out of love many times over the years. So in answer to the question, can my marriage be saved? The answer is yes. So now that you know that you can save your marriage, and you also know that falling in and out of love is normal, I hope you have hope again. I hope you know that if you're willing to do the work, things can get seriously better for you and your spouse. Let's see, there's another one. My spouse isn't willing to work on it. Does that mean my marriage is over? The answer is actually no, or more accurately, not necessarily no. Everybody has heard the saying, it takes two to tango, right? Many people take that to mean that both people have to take dance lessons to do it right. But what it really means is if just one person learns some new steps, some new moves, if you will, and does something differently, the whole dance can change. One person learning a new skill and changing their behavior, changing their steps, if you will, can dramatically change the dance. Here's one we hear too. My spouse had an affair. How do I get past it and get back to the marriage we had? Well, I know this sounds kind of harsh, but you don't want to get back to the marriage you had. The marriage you had left you guys vulnerable to having an affair. When someone in a marriage has an affair, they cross the line, but both people got the marriage to that line. It's important now to figure out what went wrong in the marriage, fix it, and create a new relationship. Handled correctly, a marriage can actually become much better after an affair if you learn how to be happily married. How do I know when to call it quits? Well, for that, I'm going to give you my personal answer. If I were going to walk away from my marriage and break up the family, I would have to be able to look myself in the eye and know that I have done absolutely everything in my power to make it work. Maybe I've ended friendships, quit my job, sold my house, read self-help books, and learned and practiced all the marriage skills I could get my hands on. I would have to know that I had done everything in my power. If, however, I truly believed that I had done everything I could do to save my marriage and it has not worked out, then I could hold my head up and look my kids in the eye and move on, knowing that I did everything I possibly could. Can you say that you've done absolutely everything to save your marriage? Why should I trust Dr. Dana's advice instead of all the other marriage experts out there? Well, unlike most of the people offering online marriage advice, I have a master's and doctorate degrees in psychology and have been actually saving marriages for over 15 years. In fact, 3 out of 4 couples who have followed my advice report that they want to stay together. Not just that they will stay together, but that they now want to stay together. The typical success rate for counselors across the nation is only 1 in 4. All the concepts in the Strong Marriage Now system are based on years of scientific research and my experience. On a personal note, I've been married for over 15 years and I am a working mother with 2 kids. I know how hard it is to balance everything in life. And like I told you guys before, we have struggled over the years with the very same issues that affect most couples. Earlier in our marriage, we had the typical fights over money, careers, the division of household responsibilities, just to name a few. There were certainly times when we felt distant and disconnected, but all along we knew we wanted an exceptional marriage. So we regularly applied the very skills I teach in the system, and we still do, by the way, to this day. And I can honestly say this has made all the difference. Another question we hear a lot: we've grown apart and aren't in love anymore. I just don't know if it's going to work out. What can I do? Like I said, I hear this one a lot. People talk about their marriage like it's something outside of themselves. Your marriage is in your control. If you want, quote, it to work out, do the work and work it out, even if that means you're the only one working on it. Couples who have grown apart can grow back together if you learn the skills and invest the time and effort. You know, you see this all the time in the media. All the celebrities have grown apart. And I got to tell you, grown apart is not a reason to divorce. Okay, I hope that answered a lot of your questions, and I hope you're now ready to begin. Remember, you'll be receiving the complete Strong Marriage Now system. This is your easy-to-follow formula to regain the love, rekindle the passion, and save your marriage. My book, Happily Ever After, so you can finally feel the ongoing love and connection you hoped for when you said I do. 2 videos on forgiveness to help you get over the pain and move forward and be happy again. The Affair Proof Your Marriage series, which includes the secret to safeguarding your relationship and family, and my super bonus, how to get your partner checked back in so you'll stop feeling like you're on your own. Click the Buy Now green rectangular button below and let's get started